Imagine waking up in a world with no more pain, no more suffering, and no more fear. A place where every tear is wiped away and death itself is gone forever. Sounds like a dream, right? But what if I told you that this is exactly what the Bible promises in the final pages of Revelation? For many, the book of Revelation is confusing, even intimidating. It's full of visions, symbols, and apocalyptic imagery. But at its core, Revelation is not about fear, it's about hope. And today, we're going to break it down in a way that makes sense. By the end of this video, you'll understand what the new heaven and new earth truly mean, and why it matters and how it impacts your life right now. Let's get started. Revelation 21 begins with one of the most breathtaking statements in the entire Bible. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. Revelation 21:1. Now, pause for a moment. What does this mean? Is God literally destroying the planet and starting over? Not exactly. The phrase new heaven and new earth doesn't mean replacement, it means renewal. The Bible consistently talks about how God's not throwing away his creation, but restoring it to what it was always meant to be. Think of it like an artist restoring a masterpiece. The original was beautiful, but over time, it got stained, damaged, and faded. God isn't scrapping it, he's bringing it back to its original beauty and making it even better. And notice that phrase, there was no longer any sea. In ancient Jewish thought, the sea often represented chaos, danger, and separation. It was unpredictable and untamable. So when Revelation says there was no more sea, it's telling us that the chaos of this world, the pain, fear, and suffering, will be gone. The old world with its brokenness, injustice, and evil will be no more. But that's just the beginning. The next part of John's vision is even more incredible. I saw the holy city, the New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. Revelation 21:2. A city coming down from heaven? What's going on here? In the Bible, Jerusalem represents the place where God's presence dwells. In the Old Testament, it was where the temple stood. But now, John sees a new Jerusalem, meaning God's presence is no longer in one place, it's everywhere. And did you catch that imagery? The city is described as a bride. This is a deeply personal image. It's not just about buildings and streets, it's about relationship. This moment represents God and humanity fully united, forever. No more distance, no more separation, just pure, perfect closeness with God. And then comes one of the most powerful verses in the Bible. Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. Revelation 21:3. This is the heart of the Christian hope. From the very beginning of the Bible, God's desire has always been to be with his people. In Genesis, he walked with Adam and Eve. In Exodus, he lived among the Israelites in the tabernacle. In the Gospels, Jesus, God in human form, came to dwell among us. And now in Revelation, that desire is fully realized. God and his people together forever. No more distance, no more separation, no more wondering if he hears you or if he's far away. He's right there, living with us, just as he always intended. And here's where things get really emotional. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Revelation 21:4. Pause for a second. Think about everything that's ever broken your heart. The losses, the struggles, the fears, the regrets. Now imagine all of it gone. No more suffering, no more grief, no more pain. Not because we've simply moved on, but because God himself will wipe away every tear. This isn't just about physical pain. It's about emotional wounds too. Every heartbreak, every anxiety, every moment you've ever felt alone or afraid, God will make it right. And then comes a declaration that changes everything. I am making everything new. Revelation 21:5. God isn't just giving us a better version of this world. He's transforming it into something beyond what we could ever imagine. A world where love, justice, peace, and joy are permanent. And the best part, it's not just about the future. So we've seen this incredible vision of a new heaven and a new earth where pain, suffering, and death no longer exist. But let's be real for a second. We're not there yet. Right now, we live in a world that feels broken. We still experience loss, pain, injustice, and struggle. We still wake up some mornings feeling exhausted, discouraged, and wondering where God is in all of this. So the big question is, what does Revelation's vision of the future have to do with your life today? The answer? Everything. Because when we understand the future God has planned, it changes how we live right now. Let's break it down. 1. Hope changes everything. One of the most powerful things Revelation gives us is hope. And not just a vague wishful thinking kind of hope, a deep, unshakable certainty that no matter how bad things get, this is not the end of the story. And think about it. When you know that something better is coming, it helps you endure the tough times. If you're in school and struggling with a difficult class, but you know graduation is coming, you push through. If you're training for a marathon and your muscles are burning, but you see the finish line ahead, you keep running. If you're going through a tough season in life, but you know that God has already won, you can stand strong. This is why Paul says in Romans 8:18, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. In other words, everything we go through now is temporary compared to the joy that's coming. Knowing that God will one day wipe away every tear doesn't erase the pain we feel today, but it does give us the strength to keep going, because we know how the story ends. Number 2, God's with us now. One of the biggest takeaways from Revelation 21 is that God's presence will be with us fully in the new heaven and new earth. But here's the thing, God's presence is already with us now. When Jesus came to earth, one of his promises was Emmanuel, which means God with us. And before he ascended, he promised, surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. Matthew 28:20. Right now, in the middle of your struggles, God is not far away. When you feel overwhelmed, he's with you. When you don't know what to do, he's guiding you. When you feel like you're all alone, he hasn't left you. The future we see in Revelation is a promise that God's plan has always been to be with his people. And while we will one day experience that in full, we don't have to wait to experience his presence now. That means we can pray, trust, and lean on him even in the middle of life's messiness. Number 3, we're called to be part of the renewal. Revelation 21 isn't just a promise about the future, it's a mission for the present. When God says, I'm making everything new, Revelation 21:5, he's not just talking about the future world. He's also talking about you and me. Right now, we're called to live as people of the new heaven and new earth. So what does this mean? Instead of spreading division, we spread peace. Instead of giving into fear, we live with faith. Instead of accepting injustice, we fight for what's right. Instead of keeping our faith private, we share the hope we have with others. Jesus didn't just come to give us a ticket to heaven. He came to transform us so that we can bring a glimpse of heaven to earth. Every time you show kindness, forgive, love, and serve others, you are participating in the renewal God is bringing. So don't just wait for the new heaven and new earth. Start living it now. Number 4, our identity and purpose are secure. One of the biggest struggles people have today is a sense of identity and purpose. Who am I? Why am I here? What does my life actually matter? Revelation 21 gives us a clear answer to those questions. Who are you? Well, you're a child of God, created for a future beyond anything you can imagine. Why are you here? To live as part of God's renewal, to love him, love others, and bring his light into the world. Does your life matter? Absolutely, because you are part of the greatest story ever told. Knowing this frees us from fear, comparison, and doubt. We don't have to chase after the things of this world to feel valuable. We don't have to let failures define us. because we already know who we are and where we're going. And that gives us the confidence to live boldly, knowing that our life is part of something far greater than ourselves. So let's wrap it all up. Revelation's vision of the new heaven and new earth isn't just a far-off dream. It's a promise that changes how we live right now. It gives us hope to endure what we're facing. It reminds us that God is with us even in our struggles. It calls us to be part of His renewal here on earth. And it gives us a secure identity and purpose. If you ever felt lost, overwhelmed, or unsure of your place in the world, this is your reminder. God has a plan. Your life has a meaning, and the best is yet to come. So let's live today with hope, courage, and purpose, because the future God has promised is worth everything. If this message encouraged you, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more Bible insights. I'd love to hear from you. Which part of Revelation's vision gives you the most hope? Let us talk about it in the comments. Until next time, stay strong, stay hopeful, and remember, God is making all things new.